and welcome to another installment of the Hometown Football League as we wrap up week number 3, season number 2. And hello, everybody. Big Paulie coming to you. We're going to have Philadelphia and New York. Philadelphia hosting in just a few minutes, but first, we take a look at what happened in week number 3, the games we did not televise during this week here on the Hometown Football League. And we'll show you what we'll be doing in week number 4. On Monday, we played Baltimore and Buffalo. Baltimore won the game 20-14. So our next stop will be Washington and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh coming in a 12-point dog, and you know those home dogs, they come up strong. And look what we have here. We have Pittsburgh winning 27-20, and we'll show you the box score there. Pittsburgh will move up to 1-2, and Washington falls 2-1. And let's show you who the MVP was. It was Johnson, John Henry Johnson, it would appear. Had a 34-yard run late in the first half, and then a 45-yard run early in the fourth quarter, and that proved to be the difference. As Pittsburgh reeled a 27-14 lead, Champ Bailey with a pick to make it close, 27-20. Team stats. Pittsburgh with 358, even though they had one field goal, one touchdown in their 3 trips to the red zone, and Washington had 2 touchdowns on their 3 trips. 7 combined penalties. Washington ran 61 plays, and Pittsburgh ran 60. Time of possession went Pittsburgh's way by a wide margin, 33-59 to 26-01. 7 penalties in the game, 5 of them committed by Washington. Roethlisberger had the better day, but both quarterbacks were a bit dismal, as Roethlisberger goes 19 for 33, 223 yards, and a 65.6 rating. Of course, Big Ben just retired in real life. Leading rusher was John Henry Johnson with those big carries that we were mentioning a moment ago. 7 carries, 85 yards, 12.1 average. Cooley had 6 catches, and he led all receivers with 68 receiving yards. And the leading defenders was actually Troy Polamalu, a single leading defender. He had 8. So Pittsburgh over Washington 27-20. We go to Carolina. In my mind, I go to Carolina. James Taylor. Line was even for this game between the Pats without Tom Brady and Carolina prevails 26-20, with Carolina getting 12 in the fourth and New England getting 11 in the fourth. You don't see that too often. And it was Cam Newton breaking open a tie with 2:52 to go with a pass to Steve Smith from 29 yards out. It was his 3rd touchdown throw of the day, and he won the MVP honors. 337 yards for New England, 367 for Carolina. New England got 3 field goals in 5 trips to the red zone, 1 touchdown. Carolina, 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal in 3 trips. New England won the time of possession battle, 31 minutes even to 29. New England ran 68 plays. Carolina only needed 53 to get the win, 26-20. And the player stats. Cam Newton, 18 of 28, 227, 1 pick, 3 touchdowns. Leading rusher was Williams of Carolina, 17 for 83. Wes Welker caught 10 balls for 86 yards, but the leading pass receiver in terms of yardage was Olsen of Carolina, 7 for 98. And the leading tackler was Norman for Carolina with 12. So Carolina plays in the East Division with New England. They're now both 1-2, the Patriots and the Panthers. A 26-20 win for Carolina to Detroit for a game between Indianapolis and the Lions. And your winner there was Detroit, 38-17. See what happened in that. It was Bobby Lane, the MVP. Detroit built a 31-0 lead before Indianapolis could get on the board late in the first half and held on for the 38-17 win. And Detroit was a 6-point favorite, so the win comes to no surprise to the odds makers. Detroit, four trips to the red zone, and they were perfect. 3 touchdowns, a field goal. Only one trip to the red zone for Indianapolis. Detroit outgained Indy 386-290. Indianapolis ran 58 plays. Detroit only needed 52, 9 penalties in the game. So Lane was 12 of 21 for a 121.5 rating. Barry Sanders threw a pass for 4 yards. And he had 75 yards to lead all rushers. And Harrison and Wayne each caught 6 balls, but it was Calvin Johnson. His 5 catches went for $169. The leading tackler in the game was Freeman and Larry. Freeman 8 tackles for the Colts, Larry 8 for the Lions, who win 38-17 in the Northern Division. Tuesday we played Minnesota and Cincinnati. Minnesota prevailed 24-10. So we go to Cleveland. Cleveland a 10-point favorite against Green Bay. We'll see what happened there. And it was Cleveland prevailing 38-13. And here was the particulars on that game. It was Otto Graham taking MVP honors with 3 touchdown passes, 1 to Max Speedy, 1 to Bobby Mitchell, and 1 to Kellen Winslow Jr. Eric Metcalf had a 78-yard punt return, and at one point Cleveland led 24-0. And teams swapped scores to make the final 38-13. Team stats: Cleveland 385 total yards, Green Bay 264. Cleveland perfect in the red zone, 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and 3 tries. Green Bay only had a field goal and a touchdown. 10 penalties in the game. Time of possession went Green Bay's way. They ran 66 plays. Cleveland just needed 59. So Graham was 12 of 32, but he hit some big passes for 276 yards. So that was over, we do math real fast, over 22 yards of completion for a 100.5 rating. Rodgers was the leading rusher for Green Bay, 5 carries and 68 yards, but Brown led all rushers, 16 for 73. Leading receiver was Houghton and Brock for Green Bay, but Brown caught passes for the most yardage at 3 catches for 87. And defensively, he said, Chip Banks for Cleveland had 9 tackles to lead all defenders. So Cleveland 38, Green Bay 13 in the Northern Division battle. Green Bay up to 2-1, and Cleveland is up to 2-1. Green Bay is 1-2. Battle in the Southern Division: New Orleans and Jacksonville. Jacksonville a 6-point favorite, and they prevail 38-28. MVP was Gerard, quarterback for Jacksonville, who threw 4 touchdown passes. Breeze had 4 of his own, including a 52-yarder to Colston to cut the margin down a little bit. So this was not as close as the final score would indicate. We had 936 yards of total offense in this game. Saints scored 2 touchdowns in 3 trips to the red zone, and Jacksonville was about as perfect as you could get, 5 out of 5. Time of possession went Jacksonville's way, 35-09, 24-51. New Orleans 59 plays. Jacksonville had 62. There were 14 penalties in this game. Jacksonville racked up 104 penalty yards, still won. And both quarterbacks played exceptionally. Gerard, 18 of 27 with that 136.5 rating. Fred Taylor, 26 for 176 yards, led all rushers. Jimmy Smith, 7 catches, 157 yards. And the leading defender was Darius with 11 for Jacksonville. So Jacksonville prevailing 38-28 to go to 2-1 this young season. We got 15 more games for everybody after play is over with in this video. Even money on the Tampa Bay Dallas game. And it's Dallas prevailing 38-31. So Tampa Bay is handed their first loss. Dallas just handed them a card and said, here you go. And it was Roger Staubach who was the MVP. He threw 4 touchdown passes and outdueled Tom Brady, who threw 2, including the decider to Ezekiel Elliott, from 3 yards out, and that was the deciding play of the game with 51 seconds to go. Dallas made 7 trips to the red zone, only scored 4 times, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Tampa Bay was perfect in the red zone, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Dallas outgained them 479-317. Had won the time of possession battle with 31-37. 7 penalties in the game, 61 plays for Dallas and 49 for Tom Brady's Buccaneers. Staubach threw for 415, 26 for 39, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, had a 125.5 average. Brady was not bad in defeat, 20 for 27, 271, 1 pick, 2 touchdowns. The leading rusher was Warwick Dunn, 12 for 33. And Chris Burford of the Dallas Texans, who plays on the Cowboys, because in the Hometown Football League, it's a combination of teams that have played in Dallas. Burford, 8 for 85, led in receptions, but the leading receiver in terms of yardage was Mark Carrier of the Bucks, who caught passes for 129 yards total. Witten had a 122-yard game, and Michael Irvin had a 100-yard game on 6 catches and 5 catches, respectively. So we had 3 players go over the 100 yards receiving mark. And Emerson Walls and John Lynch each had 8 tackles for their respective teams, Dallas and Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay falls to 2-1. Dallas improves to 2-1 in the Southern Division after the 38-31 win at Raymond James. Wednesday, we showed you Atlanta and Miami. Atlanta winning 31-17 after a 218-yard effort by Eric Dickerson. St. Louis and Chicago in the Northern Division. Life in the Northern Division. Sounds like a Dream Academy song. 24-20. Chicago prevailing on a 77-degree day in the Windy City. 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. Sid Luckman was the MVP, throwing 2 touchdown passes. One to Graham and one to Ditka. 58 and 56 yards. So Chicago is going to move on up. Team stats. St. Louis held to 185 yards, and Chicago gained 501. Both teams not perfect in the red zone. St. Louis did a little better, actually. They had 2 touchdowns, and Chicago had 1 touchdown, 1 field goal. So that does not tell the whole story. 8 penalties in the game. Time of possession went Chicago's way, 32-19. Chicago, 63 plays to St. Louis's 55 and out. First down them 26-14. Lomax did not have a good day. 12 of 31, 129. Luckman, 18 of 30 for 378 and 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher was Walter Payton. Sweetness, 24 carries and 107 yards. Leading pass catcher was Marshall Faulk, 7 for 69, but Ditka had a 100-yard receiving game on 4 catches, 101 yards. And your leading tackler was Meinert of the St. Louis Maroons with 10. So Chicago moves 2-1, and St. Louis falls to 1-2 after a 24-20 win by the Monsters of the Midway. Tennessee and Houston, both teams looking for their first win. And it's Houston prevailing 28-6. The Oilers over the Titans. Houston is a combination of the Oilers and Texans. Of course, Houston moved to Tennessee in the 90s. And they beat their brethren, I guess you could say, 28-6. MVP of the game, Earl Campbell, who I follow on Facebook. Barones hit a couple of field goals, and that was all the scoring Tennessee could muster. They had a 6-0 lead, 4:47 left in the first quarter. Then it was Campbell and Watson taking over. Campbell with runs from 5 yards and 1 yard out, providing 2 of the 4 touchdowns for the Oilers. 306 yards is what Houston gained. Tennessee was held to just 209. They took 2 trips to the red zone and were stymied each time. Houston got 4 touchdowns on their 6 trips to the red zone. We had 15 penalties in the game, so it wasn't well played. Houston 58 plays. Tennessee ran just 45. As we look at the player stats, Watson 15 of 23, 155 yards, but good enough for a 113.5 rating. Earl Campbell 22 carries, 131 yards. Andre Johnson led all receivers with 8 catches and 95 yards. And your leading defender, Tulloch of Tennessee, he made 9 tackles. So Houston, with their first win, they will move up in the Southern Division. It is 28-6, the final. We head out west. San Diego and Denver will be our next stop. And Denver goes to 2-1, and San Diego falls 0-3 after a 24-20 win for the Broncos. MVP, Peyton Manning. Denver were 22-point favorites, so they didn't cover, but who's counting? Manning threw 3 touchdown passes, so he takes the MVP. Team stats. San Diego outgained Denver by 78 yards, 364, 286. Each team perfect in the red zone. San Diego, a field goal and a touchdown. Denver, a field goal, 3 touchdowns. San Diego held at 33-28. 9 penalties in the game. San Diego ran 59 plays, Denver 54, and San Diego got 9 more first downs, 27 to, I'm sorry, I take that back. I thought that was an 18 in Denver's column. It's Denver 28-27 in first downs over San Diego. My bad. Both quarterbacks played well. Rivers did a little better. 31 of 39, 317 yards, a 117.6 rating, and they still couldn't win. Terrell Davis, 101 yards on 16 carries. Tomlinson made 11 catches for 61 yards, but Martin had the bigger game yardage-wise, 7 for a $1.08. Leading tackler was Carl Mecklenburg for Denver with 10. So, Denver to 2-1 out west. San Diego falls 0-3. Interesting game here as Arizona, who got to put together their team first, added Emmitt Smith and Kurt Warner. They faced the world champion San Francisco Gold Raiders, and your winner was the Gold Raiders, 27-20. We'll look at the line score first. MVP was Frank Gore on a 92-degree day in the Phoenix Valley. I guess they played with the roof off at University of Phoenix Stadium. Young threw 3 touchdowns, did not get the MVP, but Gore ran one in from 1 yard and did get the MVP honors. Close game in terms of yardage, 374-361. Both teams were not perfect in the red zone. San Francisco got 4 touchdowns in 5 trips. Arizona 2 in 5. San Francisco had the time possession battle won, 34-02. We had 8 penalties in the game. San Francisco only with 1. So the Gold Raiders, very disciplined. 67 plays for San Francisco to 57. They out first downed the Cardinals 27-19. Young won the passing battle, 19 of 31, 199 and a 112.2 clip, 3 touchdowns. Frank Gore, 23 carries, 137 yards. All that despite his longest gain only being for 29. Larry Centers caught 7 passes for 72 yards, and nobody did better than him yardage-wise. Leading defender was Miller of San Francisco with 10. I'm sorry, Miller plays for Arizona. I'm looking at the wrong column. But he still had 10 tackles. So Arizona falls to 1-2, San Francisco to 3-0. Kansas City and Las Vegas. Vegas heavily favored, but I think Kansas City would probably win this. And I'm incorrect. It's Las Vegas 25-9 over Kansas City. And we'll look at the box score. A lot of field goals in this game. Carr won the MVP honor, throwing one touchdown pass. He outdueled Joe Montana. Tucker hit 6 field goals for Las Vegas, none of them from 66 yards out. Montana threw a 35-yarder to Bo, and Butker hit a 34-yarder, and that was the scoring for Kansas City. They missed an extra point, so they only scored 9. Vegas hit 5 field goals in 5 trips to the red zone. Kansas City hit a field goal on 1 trip to the red zone. Vegas 355 and Kansas City 237. Time of possession went to Vegas. 7 penalties, only 1 by Vegas. 51 plays for Kansas City and 67 for Las Vegas. The Ironman won the passing battle. Derek Carr, who plays for the Raiders now, 20 for 43, 278. Leading rusher was Charlie Garner, 14 for 53. Remember, Las Vegas is a team made up of a few Las Vegas players because they just started playing professional football in Vegas, made the playoffs this year, of course, losing to Cincinnati in the first round. But the rest of the team is composed of players who did not make the respective teams from the other cities. So Gardner, 8 for 91. He led all receivers, but Vernon Davis, had a better receiving effort in terms of yardage, 6 for 96. And the leading tackler, we had Hall, Thomas, and Nick Bonacani, all with 7 tackles. Nick Bonacani in Raider colors, even though the team is the Ironman. Interesting. So Vegas to 3-0, and Kansas City falls back to 2-1. I have a feeling we're going to see both teams again in the playoffs. So that does it for our summary. And now we can finally get to New York and Philadelphia. First, let's look at week number 4 and the games we are going to do. I'm going to pick them out right in front of you here. We're going to go Minnesota and Miami will be our stop on Monday. Okay. Buffalo and Tampa Bay will be our second stop. Baltimore and Green Bay will play Wednesday, Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise. Washington and San Francisco on Thursday, and Las Vegas and Houston will be our game 1 week from today, if I can keep my schedule. And off we go. We're going to play New York and Philadelphia. I will control Philly, and the computer will control New York, a combination of the Jets, the Giants, the New York Yankees of the old NFL and AAFC, the Brooklyn Dodgers, and probably that's it that I could think of. New York Bulldogs. The New York Bulldogs is the one team I was thinking of. Now, what I do on Monday night games, is I shave 10 degrees off the temperature. The randomly drawn temperature was 69, so we make it 59. And off we go. Bum, 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 ba, bum, ba, bum. My favorite notes in sports. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so we'll set the roster for Philly, and we're ready to go. Y.A. Tittle, your starter for the Giants, and Carson Wentz, before we went to Indianapolis, starting for the Eagles. Eligible in this 2020 historical set, we use Dave Koch Sports' Action PC Football 2021. There'll probably be a Action PC Football 2022 coming out before I finish this project, but we will keep using 21 through its completion. Philadelphia will make the first half choice as New York won the toss and elected to play, but they defer. Brown, Van Buren, and McDonald back deep for the Eagles. And the party has begun here at Lincoln Financial Field. And this is a nice return. Well, don't get any nicer than that. It's a touchdown. That went Brown returning it 95 big yards. And the Eagles quickly up 7-0. And we've only played 6 seconds, so Brown sprinted like a bat out of hell, rest in peace, Meatloaf, for the score. And the Giants will now get a kickoff as Christie, Sanders, and Glenn are all back deep. Now, if this is returned for a touchdown, I would be shocked, but no, it's a touchback. The weather, 59 degrees, New York going into the wind for quarters 1 and 4, 5 to 15 mile an hour wind, noticeable. Starting lineup for New York is going to be Barber and Triplett in the backfield. Beckham, Powell, Tucker are your receivers, 2 wide receivers and a tight end in the base formation. Tittle is your quarterback. Brown, Snee, Mangold, Younts, and Powell are your offensive linemen. Brown and Mangold are 10s, and we'll go through the Philly lineup in just a moment. So I imagine that New York will try to run to the left side more often than not. It's a pitch to Triplett, and Triplett fumbles. No, I'm sorry. It's a loss of yards.
Number 53, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Doesn't matter as Douglas commits a personal foul, and it'll be a first down for the Giants. Defensively for Philadelphia, White, Douglas, Wistert, Brown are your front 4. Bednarik, LeMaster, and Bond are your linebackers. Bednarik is also rated at center because he was the last notable player in the 60s that played both offense and defense. So he could be used as center, but with 100 players on everybody's roster, very deep bench, and Bednarik would probably not be called upon in that capacity. It's Allen, Vincent, Dawkins, and Norton in your defensive backfield. We got 3 10s in the lineup for Philly: White, Bednarik, and Dawkins at strong safety. First and 10 at the 35 after that personal foul by Douglas. That's a throw and a catch to Art Powell, who gains 16 yards. And New York in Philly territory on just one play, not counting the penalty. It's first and 10 at the 49. It's Tittle to Barber. Barber with a 2-yard gain. Barber had a big game last week that we televised against Seattle at home at MetLife Stadium. 2nd and 8. The ball at the 47. The give to Triplett. Loses a yard. LeMaster on the tackle for the Eagles. It's now 3rd and 9 at the 48. The throw. The catch by Powell. A gain of 16 yards. Move it to the 32 of Philadelphia. I will point out this January 21st, we lost Meatloaf and we lost comedian Louis Anderson. So a double RIP goes out to both of those great performers and their families. First and 10 at the 32. Meatloaf was a big Yankee fan, I know. Throw to Powell, incomplete, no catch. And it's now 2nd and 10 at the 32. And that's to Beckham. And Beckham, who had 6 catches for 81 yards against the Seahawks last week, gains a first down on a pickup of 14. First and 10 at the 18. It's Butler. I'm not Butler. Barber gaining 5 yards. Snee comes out. He'll return in a few plays. So the line now, Brown, White, Mangold, Younts, and Powell. I think White is the replacement. I always like to show you who the replacements are. Dwayne White out of Alcorn State, who played for the Jets. This is an amalgamation of the Giants, the Jets, the Yankees, the Bulldogs, and the Brooklyn Dodgers of the AAFC. 2nd and 5 at the 13. It's Barber straight ahead 3 yards. Brown on the tackle for Philadelphia. Jerome Brown, who had a great career going for him, and then he was lost in an off season in the 90s to a car accident, which was in the northern suburbs of Tampa Bay up in Hernando County, I believe. 3rd and 2 at the 10. That's Barber. Barber's got the first, a pickup of 6 yards. Tittle is off to a hot start, 4 for 5, 52 yards. And that was the first catch for Tiki. He has 3 rushes for 10 yards. A 1st and goal at the 4. Tittle looking for Beckham, not finding him. Troy Vincent provided good coverage for the Eagles. And it's 2nd and goal at the 4. Triplet, no sale, loss of a yard in fact. Hugh Douglas with the stop. The Eagles putting up a good goal line defense here. 3rd and goal at the 5. And Tittle looking, and he can't find Powell on the short hitch. Bednarik providing defensive coverage. So New York forced to settle for 3 points. And it's Nugent.
Roughing the kicker, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Okay, so an interesting decision here. The Giants are the beneficiaries of a roughing the kicker penalty against Wistert. Now, I can control what the Giants do, and I shouldn't be able to do that. I think that they would take the points and assess the penalty on the kickoff, so that's what I'm going to do. So the kick is from the 50. It's 7-3 in favor of the Eagles. I should be able to control what happens with that because, if I wasn't being honest, I could rig it to where New York would take the penalty and then they'd have a 1st down. But the adage used to be in football that you don't take points off the board once they're on there. So that's what we'll do. So the kick will be from the 50, and that's going to explain this awkward animation here. If I was New York, I'd try an onside kick here. And to nobody's surprise, that kick goes through the end zone for a touchback. A 1st and 10, the ball at the 20 for the Eagles. They're going to run a play from scrimmage because they ran a kickoff back for a touchdown. We'll go through the lineup for Philadelphia before we run a play for them. McCoy, Kish, Jackson, McDonald, and Ertz are your skill players. Wentz is your quarterback. It's Brown, Mathis, Kelsey, Edwards, Wistert. Your offensive linemen, Brown and Wistert are 10s. Blocking, and the numbers you see here in the upper right, if you could look and squint your eyes in this upper right corner, the numbers you see for the running backs, the tight end, and the receivers are reception numbers, not a absolute assessment of how well they could play. So New York, Philadelphia being tackle to tackle, they should be able to do well. Sweep to the right with McCoy on 1st and 10. And McCoy back to the line and picks up 2 yards. Lawrence Taylor, LT himself, on the tackle for New York. And they have a very stout defense. Strahan, Gastineau, and Weinmeister are your front 3. New York's the only team in the HTFL that plays the 3-4 because that's what Bill Parcells loved to use. In fact, a lot of teams in the 80s used to use the 3-4. With a linebacker core here, you got Taylor, Huff, Carson, and Lewis. The defensive backfield, Revis, Glenn, Patton, and Tennell. You got 6 10s in the defensive lineup for New York, and everybody else is a 9. So this is not a bad lineup at all. 2nd and 8, we're going to go sweep it left with McCoy, as opposed to sweeping it right. And McCoy just back to the line. Big hit by the spaceman himself, Michael Strahan, who became a few weeks ago before we turned the clock to 2022 and celebrated a new year. Went to Texas and has become the first NFL player to venture into weightlessness out in the outer reaches of space aboard the Jeff Bezos spaceship. And it was the flight after William Shatner made his flight into space at the age of 90. Cross to Harold Jackson on 3rd and 8. It's caught, but it's going to be short of the first down by a measly yard. 4th and a yard, I will kick, and Roy Zimmerman will kick it away to Tennell, who has an 8.3 average. And with that wind advantage, the punt goes out of bounds at the 18, a 53-yard punt. 6:06 left, first quarter. I wasn't even noting the time left in the quarter because I'm having fun right now. Eagles 7 and the Giants 3. 1st and 10 at the 18. It's Tittle throwing to Tucker, and that's a gain of 11 yards. Tucker is the tight end. He's 38 down here on the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10 at the 29 now for New York. Tittle continues to impress, 5 for 8, 63 yards. Ball to 29. Here's your throw. That's caught by Odell Beckham Jr. A gain of 15. Of course, Beckham's now playing for the Rams, so he'll be visiting the neighborhood here in Tampa Bay when the Bucks play the Rams on NBC in a couple of days in the divisional playoff round, or the quarterfinals of the Super Bowl tournament, if you want to call it that. 1st and 10 at the 44. Tittle threw for 316 last week against Seattle, 20 for 37. And we controlled them and played well. That is batted incomplete. Tittle was looking for Barber there, and now Tittle falls to 6 to 10. 6 of 10 for 78 yards. Come on, Paulie, act like you've done this before. 2nd and 10 at the 44. Tittle throwing, incomplete, looking for Odell Beckham, and Troy Vincent providing stalwart defensive coverage for the Eagles. It is 3rd and 10 at the 44 now. We're down to 4:13 in the first quarter. Odell Beckham fumbles, and it was recovered by Odell, a pickup of 17 yards in total. Vincent will get credit for forcing the fumble, but it came right back to Odell Beckham Jr., who's dancing around, and it's 1st and 10 at the 39. You nearly fumbled the ball away, Odell. I wouldn't be celebrating. The throw, incomplete. And it was Odell Beckham Jr., the intended receiver, an incomplete pass. Beckham went on and played for the Browns. Wasn't that great there, but it seems he's having a career renaissance with the Los Angeles Rams, who picked him up in the middle of this 2021 season. 2nd and 10 at the 39. We have a marker down.
Encroachment, defense. Number 70, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
That is Wistert with encroachment. And that'll make it 2nd and 5 at the 34. 3:20 now left to go. Not 4:20, 3:20. The throw, caught by Beckham, and it's a good one. 21 yards, and the ball rests at the 13-yard line. And the Giants have something going here with 3:08 to go. 8th play of the drive is Barber gaining 2 yards. Reggie White, the minister of defense, making the tackle. Reggie also played, of course, for Green Bay. And it's 2nd and 8, the ball at the 11. Pro formation didn't work for Barber as Maxie Bond with the tackle. And it's going to be a 3rd and 8. See what the Giants do here. They can get a first down, of course, without a touchdown. And Barber does exactly that. He gains 9 yards. Barber had a 100-yard game last week against the Seahawks. In the final minute now of the first quarter, the Eagles leading 7-3. Ball to 2. Triplet finds 6 points and a touchdown. So triplet becomes a sextuplet. And the Giants take the lead for the first time today. It's 9-7 with the extra point coming for Nugent. And he's got a stranglehold on that. 10-7 with 14 seconds left to go. Opening stanza. So the Eagles are about to get the wind advantage. That'll help their passing game a little bit, I would think. It's Brown, Van Buren, and McDonald. Brown had the kick return for the touchdown, but it didn't go to him. It went to Van Buren, Steve Van Buren, a 24-yard return from the 15 to the 39. So Nugent did not get all of that kick. It was way short. And that gives Philadelphia a good field position. We have 4 seconds left to go in the quarter. We're just going to give it to LaShawn McCoy. He'll go through the line and gain 2 yards. That is the end of the first quarter. Eagles trailing now 10-7 after getting the opening score on a kick return. Giants have run 23 plays, 137 yards. Not Pittsburgh. We'll see Pittsburgh soon. Philadelphia, 4 plays, 11 yards. So that kickoff return was the only really good thing that happened for the Eagles in the first half. First quarter, I beg your pardon. We'll go Jackson, medium slant on 2nd and 8. And he was not open. Rivas providing excellent preventative coverage. I was right on that play. Screen to McCoy on 3rd and 8. Try to go underneath for it. And does he get the first down? He does, and then some. 3 yards. Sam Huff on the tackle for the Giants. Wentz has started 2 of 3 for 18 yards. As the Eagles have been working on the running game, but with the Giants, there are no good spots. McCoy off tackle left on 1st and 10 from the 48. And McCoy will gain 9 yards before Harry Carson could get to him. Gain of 9. 2nd and a yard. I think this would be a good time for play action. Because I always like to think a 2nd and 1 or 2nd and inches is a throwaway down. Because you don't get it on 2nd, you probably get it on 3rd. Long play action pass to Jackson. We have a marker down, though.
False start. Offense. Number 29, 5-yard penalty.
They get Tim McDonald for the false start. So it's 2nd and 6. So back to the drawing board we'll go. Philadelphia. We're going to sweep it right with McCoy. And McCoy, no gain. Lewis with a hard tackle. 3rd and 6. Tackles are always hard. I've never heard of a soft tackle. We're going to go Tim McDonald on a crossing route. 3rd and 6. That's incomplete. So the Eagles will have to punt at the Giant 44. Zimmerman will try to shoehorn it. And that was not a good
Offsides.
punt.
Defense. 5-yard penalty.
So a 4th and 6 will become 4th and a yard from the 39. I'm going to take the penalty. The field goal try was only 7%. We're going to go full house. And I am going to go McCoy off tackle left. And we're going to try to get the first down. We're going to have to make plays like this to win the game. And McCoy needed a yard, got 8. First down, Philadelphia. Ball at the 31. Ertz is the tight end. Zach Ertz. I know I gave you all the lineup for Philadelphia earlier. We're going to hit Ertz with a short hitch on 1st and 10. Because I've been running the ball on 1st and 10, probably thinking we could have caught the Giants off guard, but we didn't. So a 2nd and 10. We'll go quick to Mike Quick on a crossing route. Try to get the first down. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 now. We'll go 4 wide. Put a man in motion. All I need is a pair of wheels. Jackson on the medium pass. And that's incomplete. That was off of his hands. He dropped it. Now a 4th and 10 at the 31. Still not a great chance at a field goal here. Only 41%. This would be the 12th play of the drive. This is a tough spot. Can I punt it? Can I pooch punt it? Well, we're going to try for the tie and go with Akers. And he nails it. Good. And the score is 10-10. Actually, Philadelphia is kicking into the wind. New York has the wind advantage, so I messed that up. And let me just double check and see if I got a long snapper in. Oh, I don't have any long snappers, so that's what's holding my field goal percentages down. Christie, Sanders, Glenn back deep. So New York has the wind advantage, and I was mistaken. And that was Christie returning at 28 to the 28. A 1st and 10. Dead even at 10-10 with 10:51 left in the first half. Tittle calling the play, but
False
not
start.
for long.
Offense. Number 21, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Barber flagged for a false start, move the Giants back 5. It's 1st and 15 at the 23. Tittle finding Beckham again, another gain of 11. Beckham right now 5 catches and 78 yards. 2nd and 4 at the 34. The throw incomplete. 3rd and 4. Can the Eagles get him out on downs? No, Beckham with his 6th catch. That's another 18 yards. He's at 96, and we still have a long way to go in the second quarter. So Beckham is having a field day, at least up to this point. 1st and 10 at the Eagle 48. Be with you next on Monday. Kick off week number 4 of the HTFL. A 4-yard gain. Lemaster on the tackle of Tiki Barber, and it is 2nd and 6 at the 44. Barber is 7 for 25 yards right now. This is Triplett losing a yard. Wistert making the tackle for the Eagles. 3rd and 7, ball at the 45 with 8:27 left in the half. The throw is incomplete, but
Holding. Offense. Number 74, 10-yard penalty.
Mangold gets caught holding, so we will decline that and get the ball back. Line of scrimmage is the 45. I don't think they're going to fake punt here with a 10-10 tie. And I'm going to let it roll. Maybe it'll go in the end zone for a touchback. It does not. Roll dead at the 6, a 39-yard punt. Almost halfway through the second quarter. 7:32 left. We have a 10-10 tie. We're going to go to Kish. All I want is some extra love and your Kish. Ben Kish off tackle right. If you know Prince sang that song, then you know your Prince. Gain of 5 yards. It's 2nd and 5 at the 11. And they think about going 3 wide, but they're not going to do it. Pitch left McCoy. And he doesn't gain anything on that. Gang tackled. The Giants are all fired up for this 3rd and 5 play with 6:36 to go. We're going to look to Quick on a short slant. Try to go over the middle with it. Against this Giant defense, that's a fool's errand. That's incomplete. Wentz is 2 for 8 for 18 yards. Zimmerman will punt it into the wind. And that's Tennell gaining 8 yards to the 41. Kelsey on the tackle for the Eagles. The punt going 38, so the net was 30. 1st and 10 at the 41. The throw, no, it's not a throw. It's Tittle keeping it. He gains a yard. Tittle was known as a pretty good scrambler, too. But he's been good in the first half. 10 for 18, 145 yards. Beckham, unless he catches a pass for 3 yards or less, will go over the 100-yard mark the next time he catches the ball. The throw complete, and that's a touchdown to Art Powell. So they were so worried about Odell Beckham Jr. that they used Powell as a decoy to perfection, and the Giants retake the lead. It's 16. Make that 17-10 with the extra point by Nugent with 4:52 left in the opening half. Brown again back deep for Philly, and they kept them close. It's Van Buren taking this return again. Had one earlier, 18 yards to the 24. So the Giants offense just keeps motoring along. very talented on both sides of the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants go far in this HTFL season. It goes 18 weeks. Then we'll have 16 teams in the playoffs. We take the division winners, and then the next 12 teams will all be wild cards, and they will go in. First and 10, the ball at the 24. And we're going to go screen it to McCoy, although if he passed short, it would have been a higher percentage by about 2.5. Gain of 8, as I say hello this evening to my cat, Ella, who has decided to join me. Ella's been sneezing a lot lately, so I'm probably going to have to take her to the vet, unless she improves this weekend. A 2nd and 4. Off tackle right to McCoy. And that's a gain of 3 yards. And it's 3rd and a yard now. The ball at the 33. As Ella is approaching my computer, and I'm petting her. She's about half of Harry's size, if you all remember my prior cat, Harry. And McCoy, I don't think she even weighs 10 pounds. McCoy, a first down to pick up a 4. As the Eagles stay committed to the running game, they have run the ball now 10 times and thrown it 9. And Ella is going to sit on my legal pad that I keep by me here. We'll go back to Kish, give McCoy a blow, trap left, and Kish gaining 2 yards. 2:14, so that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. It's still 17-10. Each team with 3 timeouts and 1 challenge left to go. We'll go McDonald on a medium cross. I hope he goes E-I-E-I-O. That's incomplete. Now a 3rd and 8, so the Giants could get the ball back before the half. Slant to Mike Quick. Giants in a 4-1. But we pretty much got a throw here. It's a sack. Michael Strahan. And that's a 4-yard loss for the Eagles. And they will have to punt it away. And Zimmerman, leather helmet and all, will come out to the field and punt it away to Tennell. It backs Tennell up. And the punt went 43 yards. Returned 4 by Tennell. Tom Brookshire on the tackle for the Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 26. The throw, incomplete. Vincent deflected that one. 2nd and 10 with 1:35 now left till halftime. 17-10 in favor of New York. That is a gain of 5 yards by Tiki Barber. Oh, wait a minute. The whistle had blown the play dead. So that will be a do-over. 2nd and 10 and at the 26. So the officials, the Zebras, they screw up in real life and they screw up in this game. As you witnessed with that Cincinnati-Las Vegas game. When the inadvertent whistle occurred when Joe Burrow stepped out of bounds and then threw a touchdown pass and they ruled it a touchdown. I always thought that an inadvertent whistle stopped play and superseded everything else. Beckham Jr. was the intended receiver. Vincent got a tip on it. So it's 3rd and 10 for New York. It's Tittle. It's caught by Powell. Powell with a 13-yard gain. Powell has had a good game. With all the focus being on Odell Beckham, he has 4 catches for 85 yards. That's what Powell has. 1st and 10 at the 39 with 1:20 to go. Giants now with 2 timeouts. It's Barber gaining 3 yards. Interesting decision there to run a play. Running the ball. And that's 1 timeout now left for the Giants. It's 2nd and 7 at the 42. We are down to the last 73 seconds of the half. That is caught by Tucker, and Tucker may go. He does go. Touchdown, Giants. 58 big yards. Tittle goes over 200. He's at 256 on the day, and we're not even to the first half yet. 23-10. through the first half yet. Nugent with the extra point. It's 24-10. So since the kickoff for a touchdown for the Eagles, the Giants have outscored them 24-3. We have 58 seconds left. And the Giants will get the ball to start the second half. And we down it. So Eagles will have to press here, but they have all 3 timeouts left. Hitch to McDonald on 1st and 10. Doesn't look like the passing game is their forte with this all-time lineup. 2nd and 2. And Philly calls time. We're going to go over the middle again. That's how they used to do it back in the 70s, and guys like the late, great John Madden, if they had all their timeouts, they would use the middle of the field and they wouldn't go to the sidelines until they ran out of timeouts or they were down to just one. McDonald will be the intended receiver on 2nd and 2, but Wentz is going to run. He fumbles, and it's a 7-yard gain. And again, the Eagles call a quick timeout. With 43 seconds to go, they move it out to the 35. McDonald on a short out. Catches it, and he gets out of bounds after an 8-yard gain. So the Eagles matriculating the ball down the field. Medium out to Quick on 2nd and 2. And something happened there. It's a fumble, which Wentz recovered. A 5-yard loss. And the Eagles will have to call their last timeout. 3rd and 7. Giants have 1 timeout left, so the Eagles cannot really go for a running play here. They're going to go medium out to Harold Jackson on 3rd and 7, which he catches, and he's out of bounds. A gain of 15. 25 seconds left to go. And Wentz is going to try a long out to Quick, which has about a 1 in 3 chance of succeeding. And that's incomplete. Clock stopping at 18 seconds. As evidenced in the real-life Dallas-San Francisco first-round game last week, you need 18 seconds. That is the most amount of time where you could run a running play and then get the ball spiked before it expires. And of course, Dallas couldn't do that against San Francisco on that last play of the game with 14 seconds to go. And we're going to go McDonald on a medium out. We're not going to try to run it up the middle. And McDonald gets out of bounds. Pickup of 12. Stopping the clock at 9 seconds. Now, in Action PC football, 9 seconds, you have no guarantee that you could run 2 plays in 9 seconds. So we're going to try a field goal here. Akers, am I sure? I am sure. From 52, but there's no long snapper, and he pushed it right. No good. 3 seconds left. Tittle's going to get one more crack at it, and he could go deep, and they could try a 2-for-1 here. Ball to 42. We'll see what Tittle does. Will they go deep? They go deep, but it was for Barber, and he was stationed at about the 35-yard line. Incomplete pass. It's 24-10, the Giants over the Eagles, as we go to the halftime break. I will come back on screen here for a minute. Ella, would you like to say hello to my sports gaming people? Can I pick you up? Can I pick you up? Huh? This is little Ella, who I picked up at the Friends of Strays in St. Petersburg. See, you don't like to be photographed. Harry was a different story. I picked Ella up at the Friends of Strays in the Leelman section of St. Petersburg. I'll put you down. Put you right back where you were. So go check out the Humane Societies and the Friends of Strays and the SPCAs in your area. One thing about me is I love pets, and I love cats. So I will just throw that out there. I didn't even realize there was a Betty White challenge going on when I picked up Ella. Of course, Betty White passing New Year's Eve at the age of 99. So that another recent death in the world. And let's see here. Now, now Ella wants to jump up on the keyboard. Okay, okay. Well, Ella, this is going to be a challenge for me, babe. So the Giants leading 24-10, and I hope I don't go off the air here. Let's see here. So the Eagles will be kicking off to start the second half as Ella is jumping all over me. Christy Sanders and Glenn back deep. This is going to be a challenge to do, folks. And it's Christy with a nice return of 32 yards, 33 yards, I beg your pardon, to 37. Do you wanna sit on my chair, Ella? And it's first and 10 from there. New York is now up to 284 yards, and they have run 37 plays. Let me move my Coke over before you knock it. And it's not a Diet Coke, it's a Diet Dr. Pepper. I have to drink diet stuff now. Philadelphia has run 27 plays, and they have gained 100 yards. So Tittle back at it, 13 of 24, but his 13 completions have been for 256 yards for 2 touchdowns. Tittle throwing, complete to Powell, and he goes over the 100-yard mark. I thought Odell Beckham Jr. would beat him to the 100-yard mark, but not to be. He's at 104 on 5 carries, Art Powell is. And Tittle closer to a 300-yard day, and we have just started the third quarter. First and 10 at the 44. And this is a gain of 5 before Maxie Bond could put the stop on Triplett, who gained 5 yards. Triplett has 5 carries for 4 yards, so that gets him out of negative territory. Second and 5 at the 39.
Holding offense. Number 38, 10-yard penalty.
Tucker called for a hold, back up the Giants 10. That just might give Tittle such more space to throw on second and 15 from the 49. That's Barber gaining 5 yards. He's up to 2 catches for 11. He's been held in check most of the game, 8 for 28. But he hasn't been needed. Tittle's been doing it all by himself. Third and 10 at the 44 of the Eagles. The throw incomplete. Eagles played a prevent defense, and I think the Giants will just punt here. They do. And McDonald caught it at the 3 and lost 2 yards. Goes from bad to worse for the Eagles. They're backed up to their own 1, and it'll be a first down for them. We're going to sweep it right with Wentz. And Wentz will get the first down and more. A gain of 20.
Personal foul. Offense. Number 86.
But a personal foul committed by Ertz. That's actually a no yardage penalty, or actually you probably move it back a half a yard. Now, in real life NFL, if the foul had occurred in the end zone, it would have been a safety. So I think that's what would have happened. So it's first and 10 at the 1. We're just going to go Kish on a dive. Just a very, very safe play. And he gains 2 yards. Harry Carson on the stop from the 3. Eagles will go double tight end. And give it to McCoy off tackle left. Got good run blocking at the tackles. But he can't gain any yards. And it's going to be a third and 8 from the 3 with 11-11 left to go in the third quarter. McCoy, sweep right, pretty much resigned to the fact I'm going to have to punt the ball here, and that's a gain of 3 yards. Joe Klecko making the tackle for the Jets, what movie was Joe? Well, actually, Joe, I think, was in a couple of Burt Reynolds movies, Smokey and the Bandit 2 and Cannonball Run, I think. I think he was also in Cannonball Run. No, Joe Theismann was in Cannonball Run. Well, anyway, 4th and 5. Zimmerman the punt. I have read Brock Yates' book about the Cannonball Runs. That was an actual thing. Wasn't something that was made for a movie. And it's first and 10 and 37, where you got these driving teams and they race across the country and they try to avoid being ticketed for speeding. Beg your pardon. First and 10 at the 37. Usually I hit the cough button before I cough. And Barber gaining 3 yards. LeMaster on the tackle. See, I did it that time. Second and 7, the ball at the 34. 9:31 left. Tittle will get the first down. He picked up 7 yards. Hi, Ella. Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. You good? You good? Okay. First and 10 at the 27 of Philly with 8:46 to go. Barber, not an inch. Brown on the tackle for the Eagles, Jerome Brown. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Second and 10, the ball resting at the 27. The throw is complete to Tiki Barber, who gains 11 yards before Chuck Bednarik could get to him. A first and 10, and the Giants just pouring it on here with 7:15 left in the third, looking to go up 3 scores. And that was over the middle, Art Powell, and that is incomplete. Second and 10 at the 16. Barber, screen pass, gains 8. Third and a deuce. And the ball is resting at the Eagle 8-yard line. Gain of a yard for Barber. Douglas on the stop. Fourth and a yard. They'll bring in Nugent to try one from 24. And it's 27-10. The Giants lead with 5:13 left now in the third. Brown, Van Buren, and McDonald. You know the characters by now. It's taken by Brown, but not far. 12-yard return. Haynes, just wait till we get our Haynes on you, making the stop, and it's first and 10 Eagles at the 27. So Wentz, 7 of 15 for 67 yards. I wonder, the coach for Philadelphia, being me, I might put in another quarterback if the drive here is unsuccessful. Slant to Harold Jackson on first and 10 at the 27. Think the Eagles might need a new look. They're playing against one of the great defenses in the HTFL, and I can't fault them for that. But we might want to try somebody else just to keep Wentz from getting injured, maybe. And if you know Carson Wentz's career, he does have a frequency of getting injured. Harold Jackson on the short hitch. Giants playing a 4-2 nickel man. Oh, it's caught by Jackson, and that's a gain of 12. He had 6 catches against New Orleans for a $141, 2 touchdowns. And the Eagles have a first down at their own 39. We're going to go McDonald on a short cross. So I'm already starting to think that I should keep Wentz in there. And look at this. That is Mike Quick gaining 51 yards all the way down to the Giant 10. So here come the Eagles suddenly. It's first and goal at the 10. They cannot get another first down without scoring. We're going to go Quick cross, short cross. And that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown to Mike Quick. So Quick, the catalyst for a 4-play, 73-yard drive that only takes a minute 58. That's just what the doctor ordered for Philly. Your point after is good. That is by Walston, Bobby Walston. And it's 27-17 with 3:05 to go. Too early for an onside kick. I'm thinking Christie, Sanders, and Glenn back deep. And it's going to be taken by one of the up men, which is Sanders. And Sanders with a nice return from the 4 to the 34. First and 10 from there. Tittle now, 1 yard shy of a 300-yard passing game. He's 17 of 30 now for 299. First and 10 at the 34. Pitch is to Barber. Barber with no gain. Wistert on the stop. Rushing wise, the Giants have been held in check, 19 carries for 44 yards. Excuse me, Ella. It's second and 10, and the ball is at the 34. The throw incomplete to Odell Beckham Jr., and that's going to set up a third and 10 from the same spot, the 34-yard line. The throw to Barber will get the first down. That's a pickup of 14. And there goes Y.A. Tittle on his 32nd throw. Goes to 314 in his 18th completion. Been playing well in this game. And it's first and 10 as I have to move around things to keep Ella from pushing them over. First and 10 at the 49. But it's nice having a cat again. Incomplete. And it's second and 10. Ball is at the 48. Very friendly, very down-to-earth cat. That's incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 21, automatic. First down.
They get Eric Allen for pass interference. Move it up to the 34. And it's first and 10 from there. Minute 1 to go in the third. Barber with 5 yards. He's now at the 13 carries and 37 yards. Down to the final minute of quarter number 3. It's 27-17. The Giants leading by 10. And Barber slashing for another 8 yards. Brown on the tackle. That'll end our third quarter. One more quarter left in week number 3. It's the Giants 27 and the Eagles 17. For the Giants, they have run 54 plays for 370. The Philly Eagles, I nearly called them the Phillies. 34 plays, 178. So a distinct advantage in what the Giants have been able to do offensively as opposed to Philadelphia. First and 10 at the 21. It's Tittle handing it off to Barber. Might as well stick with him. He's getting good results. A gain of 3. LeMaster on the tackle for the Winged Ones. Second and 7 at the 18. Recently, I read The Forgettables, I'd say within the last year. Gain of 5 for Tiki Barber, Norton on the tackle for the Eagles, which was about a minor league team the Eagles had in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Third and 2 at the 13. Of course, it was turned into a NFL Films piece, and minor league football is not a thing anymore, and perhaps it should be. Beckham Jr. finally goes over the 100-yard receiving mark with his 7th catch. It's now a first and goal at the 4. Giants trying to keep the foot down on the Eagles. 1-yard gain for Barber. And one of the undercurrents of the book, The Forgettables, is King Cochran. Barber, gain of 2 yards. And he's fighting with the head coach of the team, whose name I can't remember at the moment. And eventually, they play the championship game in Hartford against the Hartford Charter Oaks, and they win with their backup quarterback. Third and goal at the 1. And Barber, no gain on third, setting up a field goal on 4th. It's a good documentary, and they revisit King Cochran again some 30 years later. 4th and goal at the 1. And here's the kick. Cochran did play in the AFL for the Boston Patriots, but had the flamboyancy but not the talent of Joe Namath. So with the field goal being good, it's 30-17. Brown, Van Buren, and McDonald back deep. I think I have that documentary on my computer. I'll look at it here in a minute.
Holding. Receiving team.
A hold against LeMaster, and the Eagles are again in deep doo-doo. They are at their 5-yard line. But it's now a 13-point game with the Giants only hitting a field goal there. We'll go back to Harold Jackson on the short cross. And a marker.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 99, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They get Mark Gastineau in the game getting a little sloppy. 1st and 5, the ball at the 10. Screen to McCoy. So the Giants are playing look like a prevent defense. They had 5 in the backfield, and they had all dropped back. How about Ertz on a short cross? Not crossing up. The throw complete to McCoy, who gains 8 yards and a first down. Eagles whiff the wind, 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll go quick over the middle on a slant. Incomplete. So Wentz is right around the 50 percentile with his throwing. He's 11 for 22 now for a $148. Screen for McCoy, but it doesn't look like we're going to take him out of the game. That's incomplete. 3rd and 10. Medium pass, too quick. Giants playing a 4-1 dime. Man in motion. The throw. Caught. A first down from Mike Quick, who gains 14 yards.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
And there was a
incomplete.
Review.
A timeout will be charged.
Pass is completed. So the Giants used their challenge, which cost them a timeout. 9:17 to go. We'll go McCoy, screen pass on 1st and 10. That's complete to the 30, to the 35, to the 37. Glenn, one of the corners, will be out the remainder of the game. So Mark Haynes comes in. And we're going to test him right away. Medium crossing route on 2nd and 5. Oh, but look at the play there by Strahan. He comes in, sacks the quarterback, Wentz, for his 2nd of the day. That's 3rd and 15. And Eagles got to throw it to Jackson because he can probably get the first down. No, incomplete. 8:03 to go. Too early not to punt it. Zimmerman will kick it away to Tennell. And Tennell backed up inside his own 25 to the 24. The punt goes 49. The return 5. Scarpetti on the tackle for the Eagles. It's 1st and 10 Eagles. 1st and 10 Giants, I should say, at the 29. I'm okay, folks. I'm okay. Giants lead 30 to 17. That is a throw and a catch to Tucker. A 21-yard gain. Tittle now has a season high in terms of passing yardage, 343 yards. Tucker, if I can get the box score to work, now has 3 catches, 90 yards. So we could have 3 receivers for the Giants at over 100. 1st and 10 at midfield. Triplet, gaining 2. Brown on the stop. Or the Eagles. We have 6:59 left to go. Tittle throwing. Looking for Tucker. It's got to be pass interference, and it is.
Defense. Number 20, automatic. First down.
Brian Dawkins gets called for a PI. DPI. And it's 1st and 10 at the 30. The other day, the day I came home with Ella, I was watching the Giant 49er game, and Ella was sitting down and watching it, and all of a sudden the referee comes on to explain a penalty, and Ella attacked the TV, which got away unscathed. 1st and 10 at the Eagle 20. True story. I have the photo to prove it. Well, just before it happened, and Tittle from 20 yards out scores. It's 36-17. Nugent will try the point after. No, they go for 2 to try to make it a 21-point game. They do not convert. I think that's rubbing it in a little bit. And the lead will stay at 19, meaning if the Eagles can score 2 touchdowns, get 2 two-point conversions, and kick a field goal, we have a 36-all tie. But we're a long way away from that. It's 36-17 with under 6 minutes to go. And Brown
Holding. Receiving team.
gets a good return called back. I'm going to pull Wentz. Don't want to see him get hurt the remainder of the game. And our new quarterback's going to be Jeff Garcia, who has also played for the 49ers and the Buccaneers. First and 10 at the 9. So we'll give Garcia a whirl here. Slant to Tommy McDonald on first and 10. That's incomplete. So not a good start for Jeff Garcia. Medium cross. And Garcia will pick up 3 yards. We're down to the last 5:30. Eagles will hurry here on this third down play. They look to Quick. Mike Quick on 3rd and 7. That's incomplete. The Eagles got a punt here. Warford 7. Zimmerman. You're giving the Giants an easy score if you go for it that deep.
Holding. Receiving team. 10-yard penalty.
As the play continues to slopify, Huff with the illegal blocking. Could have called him Mike Hunt, but that's an inside joke. First and 31 with 5 minutes to go. I'm ready for a 2-day break doing the football games, folks. That is LeMaster tackling Barber, loss of a yard. Barber with 55 yards on 20 carries. And the Giants just playing out the string with a 19-point lead this late in the game. Triplet, no gain. LeMaster pulling him down. Setting up a 3rd and 11. Ball at the 30. It's a throw. It was intended for Beckham Jr. That's incomplete. Why are you throwing the ball this late in the game? 3:27 left. I don't think I've mentioned the New York punter yet. That's Len Younce, who also doubles as an offensive guard. Eagles get it back. 3:19 to go. Garcia back out there. He's going to look to Zach Ertz on a medium out. And the Eagles probably going to use some timeouts on this drive. That's incomplete. Garcia is started 0 for 3. Screen McCoy on 2nd and 10. That's incomplete. And Garcia is now 0 for 4. With a 4-wide set, Garcia will look to Harold Carmichael. Very tall receiver.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 99. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 3rd down.
Gastineau gets flagged for encroachment. We'll go Westbrook on a screen. 3rd and 5. That's incomplete. 4th and 5. We might as well go for it. We'll go short pass to Carmichael. And yes, I want to run the play. 2:55 left. And finally they get a catch, but not for the first down. They needed 5. They get 2. Haynes with a nice tackle. And now the Giants in the driver's seat, if they weren't already, with 2:46 left to go. They lead 36-17. The ball at the Giant, and at the Eagle 38. I beg your pardon. A lot of errors I have made in this game. 2-yard gain. LeMaster with his 10th tackle. And yeah, I got to call my timeouts. Ball to 36 for a 2nd and 8. Barber up the middle, and that's a gain of 9 and a first down. I'm going to call my second timeout. It's a lost cause at this point, but I'm just going to play it out. 1st and 10. And Tittle, I think that is the first time he has been sacked all day. Reggie White getting to him. And it's 2nd and 15 after the 5-yard loss. 2:19 to go, but the Eagles now out of timeouts. 2-yard gain for Triplet. Wistert gets them. And that'll take us to a 2-minute warning. A 3rd and 13 coming up for the Giants with a cozy 19-point lead. 2 minutes to go. And that is Triplet gaining 4 yards. And they bring Nugent on to try a 45-yard field goal. which is good. And that extends the Giants' lead to 39-17 with a minute 5 to go. And Nugent has 1, 2, 3, 4 field goals today. And that looks about right. Okay, Brown again back deep. We'll try to get these last 65 seconds over. Gain of 22 yards. Haynes made the tackle for the Giants. They're going to stick with Garcia, and they're going to go to the sidelines. Medium out to Mike Quick. And a catch. And that is good for a 100-yard day for Quick on 4 catches. First and 10 at the 49. 47 seconds to go. The scrubs are in for New York. Let's acknowledge them. Tuck, Poole, Brown, and Johnson are your front 4. Taylor, Lewis are your linebackers. They're only going to use 2. Tom Landry is in there when he's not coaching the Dallas Cowboys. I know. Just imagine a younger Tom Landry being also in the HTFL with the coach Tom Landry. Kennedy, Pascal, Regan, and Patton are the defensive backs. We'll go to McDonald again. We'll go on a long slant route. 47 seconds left. And that is a catch for 26. 36 seconds to go. And we're going to go long out to Jackson. That is incomplete, off the hands of Jackson, who has made 2 drops to go along with his 3 catches for 34 yards. We're down to the last 17 seconds of the game. Medium fly route to Quick on 2nd and 10 from the 25. Gain of 8, and that's going to do it. Eagles will not get another playoff. Garcia's going to finish 4 for 10, 61 yards. At the very least, it would take me 11 seconds, and everybody just wanted this game to be over with. So it was the Giants 39-17 over the Eagles. MVP, Tittle. I don't think that came to anybody as surprise. He threw 3 touchdown passes, including a 58-yarder to Tucker. Team stats. Giants were perfect in the red zone, but they kicked 3 field goals, 444 yards. Eagles only made 1 trip to the red zone. They scored a touchdown on that. They gained 259. 15 penalties in the game. Giants committed 70 plays, and the Eagles ran 52. I'm almost done, buddy. I'm almost done. Okay. And, yeah, that was the only sack New York gave up, was that sack Reggie White got. Tittle, 20 of 36, 343 yards, gave up 1 sack, 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher was Rondé Barber, but we had an off day, 22 carries, 66 yards. We had 3 receivers go over 100. Beckham Jr., 7 for 105. Art Powell, 5 for 104. Quick, 4 catches, 100 yards. And the leading tackler was LeMaster for the Eagles with 10. So that puts a bow on week number 3 here in the HTFL. Hope you enjoyed the action. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. Wishing you well. Godspeed. God bless. And we'll do it all again soon. Me and Ella wish you a heartfelt good night.